Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Barbie doll size sewing office. So I'm starting out with this cardboard box. It's pretty small and I just cut off this side, and the top. So this is going to be my base of food. I took just a normal red plastic cup and I cut the bottom off of it. So now it's the perfect size for a little chair to go in there. But we're going to do a little more with that later. So first, I'm going to start with this wall. I have some cute wallpaper that I just drew on, and alright, so I've got this wallpaper on this wall, but I'm actually going to do something different for this wall. So this room is definitely going to be a sort of more modern, not modern, but a more grown-up, maybe sophisticated office with mostly black and white and a little bit of pink. So we're going to try to make this actually be a brick. So I already cut a bunch of little brick pieces out of some thin cardboard, and I like them to be white so I don't have to paint them. So I'm actually going to attach these onto this wall, a glue stick, but first actually remembered there's going to be a window on this wall, so I'm going to need to cut that before I attach the bricks. Real quick before I cut this window out, I know it looks really janky and it looks kind of small, but don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. I just want to say I'm almost at 10 subscribers and I'm literally so excited, so if one more person would please subscribe, that would make me so happy. I can't wait to reach 10 subscribers. But now back to the window. So I've got this window here. It's kind of small, but I think it's big enough because I'm really excited about the bricks, so I don't want to take up too much of the wall on this side. So now to add actually something in there, I just realized I've been filming my camera the wrong way, so sorry about that. Okay, so basically now that I have it cut out, I am going to take some plastic and just tape it right there to make the actual window thing. And I cut it kind of lopsided, but I don't think it will show too much. Alright, so now I have the entire window done. It has this plastic on it, and I'm loving how this is going. So now I'm going to add the brick wall. So first here, I'm just going to put the bricks straight on, because then this will kind of look like what's gluing them together. So I'm just going to use this glue stick, and I'm going to glue all of the bricks on. So I kind of messily added the white to that wall. Now I'm going to add I'm gonna actually add the bricks, and you can't really see this little window frame, but I'm gonna add it back in sometime with sort of thin cardboard. So now let's move on to the bricks. Alright, I finally have all of the bricks done. As you can see, there's a little bit of pencil marks, but I kind of like that look to it. So this is the walls and everything like that almost finished. I'm just gonna re-add the paper going along, framing the window. Okay, so I added the frame to the window. Now I'm just going to make the floor just be white, so I'm just going to cover it with white paper, then I might add a few black and white details. So I added the floor and I decided to just keep it plain and not add anything like this, since this is all sort of really busy and this is just nice and plain. So now I'm going to move on to something. Okay, now I'm basically just taking this old Tylenol bottle and I'm going to make a bookshelf to go right here. So I cut one side, cut the top. Now I'm going to make one more little box sort of shape to go beside it to be another smaller bookshelf. I'm going to cover those sides with paper. So I had some extra of this, so I made that be the walls of this little bookshelf, and I just added some shelves in there. Now I think I'm just going to place it right here, and I might take it on just so it can sit a little better. Next, I'm going to make a shelf, so I cut off the rim of a plastic cup. Now I'm going to attach a little piece of flat cardboard. So I made this little shelf. I don't know, it looks a little bit odd. I'm not sure what I feel about that, but we're gonna leave it right out and we'll see. Yeah, I don't know where it will go like this. So I'm going to work on this chair. So again, this is just a plastic cup, cut the bottom off. So first I'm going to wrap it in some fabric. So I'm just going to cover it like this, and then I'm going to tape it on like under here. Then I have some cardboard that I'm going to cut the same shape as the top. Now I'm going to put a little stuffing and cover it with a different shade of pink. Now I'm going to attach it like this so it's nice and cushy. So, okay, so I finished the chair. As you can see, it does take up quite a bit of the room, so I'm hoping when the desk is here I can sort of push it under the desk, but I don't know. Okay, so next we're going to work on making the desk. So I just cut a piece of white cardboard and glued it, taped it on, and then I rolled up some cardboard and taped it onto the desk and the floor to keep it sturdy. So the desk is almost done. I think I'm going to attach it here a little higher up. So now the desk is done. So I'm actually really liking how this room is going. It does have quite a bit of white. It doesn't have quite enough. I mean, this is pink, and there is just a tiny bit of pink on the wall and on the bookshelf, but I think I need to add a little more pink and a little more black because it's feeling just really white, and like there's really nothing but white. So I think I'm going to change that a little bit. So let me just actually already made this because I already had it. I'm going to add this little laptop to her desk. So it's basically just a piece of cardboard folded, cut up pieces for the keys. I didn't want to add anything here because I couldn't decide what. Then I just added the little rainbow and a little Apple logo on there, so I'm just going to set that to right on the desk. And as you can see, it is pretty big, so I might go get one of my other ones. This one is made a similar way, but it's a little smaller, so I might switch that one out for that one, and I honestly might just make a whole new laptop for this room, because I do really like how this one looks. It's just kind of big. So it could actually look kind of cute over there. I don't know about the laptop yet. I'm just going to set them both here for now, and I'll decide. Okay, next to make a trash can, I'm just cutting a strip of black construction paper. So these joint ones. And then I'm going to cut it out to here. Tape it. Then I'm going to cut a rough circle. Take a few more little pieces of tape. Tape them along the inside, the bottom of the inside. Just like that. Then take the trash can onto this bottom. Now cut around the edges. So now that I have this, I'm just going to put a few little pieces of trash that I have, crumple them up, and put them in here. So it looks like she's actually been doing stuff. Okay, so I just cut out a few pieces of paper that I'm just going to, I need to figure out the laptop situation. This one's a little bit too big, but I like it a lot better because it's just prettier in my opinion. So I'm going to set it right there for now, or right there. Then I'm going to take these pieces of paper and just sort of set them here. You can hardly even see them. So since you can't really see them very well, I'm actually going to cut a little piece of black paper, another piece of black paper, to sort of be maybe about this size. Might trim it down a little bit. And just like that. So it can actually be sort of like a little mat where your Barbie can do things and like not damage the desk and stuff. So that's how next, since this is technically supposed to be a fashion design office, I need to make one of those important parts, which is a sewing machine, so she can sew all of her designs. And I just thought that this doesn't have to be a bookshelf, it can be a fabric shelf, because that would actually make a little more sense for this room. So I made one rectangle out of cardboard, one circle out of cardboard, and another little bit smaller circle out of cardboard. Now I'm going to attach them all together to make my sewing machine. Now for the needle, I'm actually going to take a real pin and cut off the bottom. So I have it just like this, and it's not the best sewing machine, and I'm probably someday going to try to make a better one, but for now, it's actually super cute on here. Next, I'm going to make a little design iPad where she can do different designs. So it's the same sort of thing. Oh, I'm actually going to add a few details to this sewing machine. So after adding those few details, it's super cute. Now I'm onto the design iPad. I'm just going to sort of do the same sort of thing I've been doing this whole time. So take a piece of cardboard. I'm going to cut it down to the size I want for the iPad, which is about here. So almost the size of a piece of paper, but a little smaller. Now I'm going to add a few things, and I'm going to cover that up. So for the case of this, I think I'm just going to do a design with black and tape. And there went my glue stick again. Okay, so I finished this little design iPad. It's pretty, not very intricate and kind of self-explanatory. I'm just going to set it beside the sewing machine. Now I'm basically done with the office. I'm just going to add some stuff on here, and I think I'm going to get rid of this. So I changed the shelf to just being that. Now I'm going to add stuff. The top of the bookshelf I'm actually going to do as fabric, and the top I'm going to add books. I just made one little fake book that I'm going to place on the shelf. I definitely want to make more later, but right now I'm getting kind of tired, and so I think I'm just going to leave it with one book that apparently won't close. I'm just adding some two random little things to this shelf. I'm just adding two random things to the shelf. That looks like it's almost about to topple over again. I think it would be really fun to hang more stuff on the walls, so I'm going to draw a few pictures to hang on. Next, I'm going to cut out the name Scarlet in this. Now I'm going to tape this right onto there. And the reason I picked the name Scarlet is because I'm soon going to be starting a series called Scarlet's Dream, and this is going to be either her office or maybe part of her dorm, like connected to it. So here is the finished office. I think it's super duper cute. Of course, I can always add more stuff to the desk, in the shelf, and whatever this is, bookshelf, fabric holder. But this is the basic room, so I'll show you it with a Barbie. So this is it with the doll I'm going to use for Scarlet. As you can see, it's not a giant room, and the desk is a little bit short on her, but I can always just make the chair be a little bit shorter so the desk will fit her just a little bit better. So this is the finished thing. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video, and have a great day. Bye!